Hey there, Z here, and show of hands. Show of hands. Who doesn't love themselves some time management games? Oh, you know old Zach loves himself some time management games. What's not to love about them? You start out with nothing, right? And then you go straight for the stars, kid. You start out with a handful of people that, let's be fair, should know half the shit that you're telling them to do, but let's just forget about that for now. And then from then on, you have nowhere to go but up. You just say, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to go, and you lose. You lose at your first game of any single time management game because they're always hard as tits, and guess what? I'm not going to read the tutorials. You read the tutorials, all right? I'm not reading them. I'm an action man, so I'm just going to keep doing action. So I think, hey, I took my lumps. Second time's going to be better. I'm going to go straight, and you lose. Because second time, 2 times losing is not enough. So you think 3 times are charmed, right? I'm going to start, and you lose already. What's that fun about this idea? Oh, yes, I absolutely love restarting, knowing little bit by little bit by little bit information here. But hey, here's an idea. What if we take a survival management game, pump it full of steroids, throw it in the back seat and drive down to Planet Fitness, giving it a few backhands while you're doing so, old dad style, you know what I mean? Leave it there for long enough for it to develop some sort of, abandonment issues, and then you come back to pick it up, and what do we have then? We have oxygen not included. Maybe some slight partial depression here, and maybe an addiction. If you get one addiction, if you already have one, hey, you can always get more of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I found out about life is, no matter what addictions that you have, you can always have more of them. Okay. This is an alpha game, and go on with the alpha game. Alpha S review. Come on, guys. Are you fucking kidding me? You're dying here. So, Oxygen Not Included is a game by the wonderful developers Klei Entertainment, the same people who made Mark of the Ninja and Don't Starve, along with the multiple inbred expansions it has, and is the main culprit of my ire at this moment. Why? Because this game, like I mentioned before, is hard as hell to get a grasp on. This management game takes you from basically 3 mentally deficient underground clones with a porta potty, beds made of dirt, and digging more than a dog on cocaine to a sprawling mass of what the fuck is even happening here. You tell me, but let me explain you why I bought this game. Ever since I was a naive young man, much too young to know the pure joys of tasting the devil's brew, I've always enjoyed management games. It started off with a little game called Theme Hospital. Then from there I went to the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, then Caesar 2 came into my life, and since then I've just been constantly jumping from one game to another, and then this fucking game. None of the building simulators would ever prepare me for the bullshit I found in this game. Oh, Zach, you're just being overdramatic. Am I? Maybe I am, but this game lured me in with the false pretenses of a cheerful, happy, easygoing game with the beautiful graphics and the colorful animations of the characters as they eat and sleep and die from food poisoning. But again, I was fooled. This game pulled a sneaky on me.
Yeah, I pulled a sneaky on you.
But let's just chill a little bit and start from the beginning. This game's main focus, as far as I've gotten in my 14 hours of playing it, is just to survive long enough to evolve your civilization from using basic tools and amenities to upgraded versions of the same amenities to make living in this new world a bit more bearable. Sounds simple, right? Especially to a survival game fanatic like yours truly, yeah, right? Just like all the other survival games I've played, there are several things that you need to keep an eye on for your subjects to stay happy and healthy in this harsh environment. I mean, There is like a easier free played mode if you really want to do that, but the last time I checked, they called me Epic Gamer Z with moderately sized genitalia, not casual Z who wants the world to have one love. Fuck that guy, but surviving in this isn't as easy as, hey, make sure you don't get cold, hey, don't get hungry, hey, don't let the cannibals kill you and eat your child. No, this is the neediest fucking survival game I have ever played ever. Just like the title says, there is no oxygen when you first get teleported to this weird and wonderful world. So, you either need to live off of these rocks that emit oxygen for a short amount of time, then build air purifiers, terrariums, pray to Berthin, the god of oxygen, and absolutely everything in between. But that's not all. You also need to worry about your minions being nice and clean, make sure they have full stomachs, research better technology to keep surviving in this world just a skosh more easier, constantly collect materials all around you to keep surviving, and sure, when it's only 3 submental peons, it's pretty easy. Especially because you could choose which 3 people you want to bring with you at the very beginning. And with each character you choose, there are a bunch of attributes that they're good at and that they suck at. Things like learning and cooking and creativity and kindness, strength, athleticism, farming, ranching, and 14 other things I haven't thought about right now. And all of these determine what your characters will excel at or what their professions will be later on in the game. If you got someone that has a lot of kindness, you're going to be a good doctor. Got a lot of strength and athleticism? Get to the minings, cupcake. You got lots of learning to do? Oh, you better be ready to never leave that fucking research table, guy. And when you finally get your dream team, you can name the expedition team and you are now on your fucking own. Sure, there are tutorials and shit, but most of the time they're very, very short and to the point and they don't really explain to you the best way of doing anything. So if you want some finesse on how to use any of these, the PDs will probably be your best friend. And I'm sure by this point some smug bastards out there will say, well, Zach, I don't really see what the problem is. It just sounds like a regular survival building game with a little bit of management to it. Get some balls, sir. And yeah, sure, you're right. And to be honest, the first few hours are fine when you're dealing with the basics and only 3 people. You set up a hamster wheel with some batteries to collect electricity for your compound, run a bunch of wires through it to power everything that you need to power, make sure that there's enough battery space to keep things running while everyone is sleeping, make sure that your people are taken care of with food and clean water and beds to sleep in and cater to their every peckin' need, and to spice things up every once in a while, the mindless slaves will succumb to a negative trait of theirs like narcolepsy or loud snoring, and you have to work your way around that and force Charlie to sleep in the basement so he doesn't wake up everybody else. 3 people is fine to manage, but every so often, the mentally challenged version of Stargate activates and you can either get A, more resources that you don't usually find laying around, or B, more people to help you sufficiently run your society. And I know some of you will say, well, just keep it simple, keep it to 3 people all the time. That's not the way things work. You'll need more specialists and blunt labor to dig or run food processing machines, or do research or run the hamster wheel, and with more people comes more resources you need to use, which means you need to make more machines, which means you make more people, more mouth breathers filling up this cramped bunker with carbon dioxide, more mouths to feed, more beds to make, and over and over and over again until you can't understand what the hell you're doing anymore. And you need to either significantly increase your management skills or throw a gun to the man who's talking to himself in the corner and wait patiently for things to just resolve on their own. And the map, the map. Randomly generated maps, which I'm usually fine with, and I still am with this game. But after going through shuffling from person to person, trying to find the right people to start out with, waiting for the map to load, and actually getting into the world, sometimes you'll notice that, hey, there's no fucking clean water anywhere around here, which is necessary. No scrap near here, which is necessary. Or not much algae around here, which is definitely necessary because that's what you need to do to run the fucking oxygen machines here. So you could pull up your big boy shorts or put up your big girl panties and stress for the first hour of gameplay just trying to establish the basics that you will need before going on. Or you could just restart and pick another map. I can only imagine what most people will do. But all of this really isn't a ball buster quite yet, right? I mean, it is still incredibly fun at the beginning when everything is very basic, like I've been mentioning, but then it happens. All of the maintenance around your base has accumulated deadly gases such as nitrogen, polluted oxygen, carbon dioxide, and all the other scary sounding elements you can think of. And for the most part, this is still pretty early in the game, so you haven't really done enough research to get to the really good ways of getting out all of this bad gases, so there's really not much you can do. Pumping more oxygen into the room won't get rid of the bad gases that are already there, and the few plants that do absorb carbon dioxide and put out oxygen don't do it fast enough because you have 8 people who are constantly breathing, and you need to do something about this, okay? People are going to start suffocating in your own base. You can't have this happen, okay? You are the leader. You're the one that's supposed to not make them die, okay? Not to mention that you have just unlocked plumbing, so you can finally have an actual toilet for your people to piss in and showers for them to cry in. But the thing is, when clean water goes in, the dirty water has to go out somewhere. And that is where things start going down fast. So now you have to worry about pumping bad air away from your base to, I don't know, the outside of your base, or even a room that no one's ever gone into for a long time, and putting a door with a lock on it saying, don't fucking ever open this door. Push the polluted water from the toilets and the showers into some hole that you dug in the basement. You have to put filters on the pipes and arrange them correctly so the main water flow will go through all the necessary buildings. Place a secondary pipe for the bad water to be taken away, and a third pipe for to recycle the good water so you're not just burning through the slim amount of drinkable water that you have. And whoops, looks like while you're doing all this, some of your food went bad and now everyone's sick. I hope you better get some vitamins to help them out. Oh shoot, we don't have the resources to make those pills. Better start mining for more. Hey, did we mention that we're completely out of food because everyone was mining? Just thought I'd let you know. Hey, by the way, did you know your toilet just busted and now dirty water is absolutely everywhere all over the floor because no one decided to come by and repair it? Hey, you didn't set up the plumbing, right? Because it's not really working. Everything is just being held up. The clean water is going away. Everyone is dying. This is your fault. What are you going to do about it? Everyone can't breathe. Your base has no energy. Everyone's dying. We need management. I want to talk to your manager. What is going on? No one knows what's going on. Everyone's going to die. What is happening in this life? This game is relentless. It does not give a fuck if you're ready for the high stakes bullshit or not. Like, I can finally realize why presidents at the end of their terms looks like they just spent their entire presidency staring into the gaze of Medusa. This game is so fucking stressful, it's unbelievable. But here's the twist, ladies and gentlemen. This game is super hard for beginners. But I love it. Hey, if that makes me a sadist, then chain up my nipples, grab the paddle, and the safe word is flautist. There's just something so great about a game that pulls absolutely no punches, and the more you lose to it, the more you learn from it. Yeah, I've been cracking jokes about it this entire time, but deep down, I like Oxygen Not Included. Besides the whole easy mode capability at the beginning, which kind of puts a damper on the actual thing. But when you're not playing with that, you're not dealing with my bullshit. And I can appreciate it. And look, there are so many other things about this game that are positive that I didn't mention because, well, this game gave me more misery than pleasure. So I thought if I'm going to make a review of it, I'm going to have to make it mostly misery. But besides the awesome animations that they have, the physics of this game is really neat too. Carbon dioxide has a higher density than oxygen, so it of course always falls to the bottom of your base. Your characters talk to each other and form relationships while they're trying to, not die. They can make farms, you could ranch animals, force your people to eat dirt over and over and over again, like a proper asshole. This game is alpha as fuck, and it's been out for 2 years, so it should be alpha as fuck. But anyways, this game just has a great feel to it. It's a very well done game. I hate it, but I hate it like a child hates a parent. It disciplines me because it loves me. And guess what? Oxygen Not Included has never hit me with a closed fist. Always back of the hand. Anyways, it's $25 on Steam for anyone who wants to hate themselves a little bit more. Thank you all for sticking with me, and cheers.